Oh, yes, we are live on another episode of the Calcio Connection podcast. We are connecting with you, Italian football fans from all over the world. I am Alex Donno, and as the commenters are already saying, Biggie says, I bet Alex is loving this one. Rose, I am relieved. Inter pulled it out 3-1 at Fiorentina today. In the first half, Fiorentina looked like world beaters. Vincenzo Italiano has already changed the mentality of that club just a couple of months on the job. Their press looked fantastic. They looked like they were going 100 miles per hour, and Inter were going in slow motion early in that match. Honestly, Inter were lucky not to be down more than 1-0. Handanovic made a couple of amazing saves. Thank the Lord the guy still has something left in the tank, because I know we all love to rag on Handanovic. He's still capable of showing up and looking world-class on occasion. And then Inter got their shit together late in the first half, and in the second half did very, very well to score 3 goals and take the victory 3-0. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about so much more. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mr. Jerry Mancini. Jerry, it's crazy, bro. When we were in like the lead-up, your lighting looked fantastic, and now it looks like, again, you're in the interrogation room, and like the lighting is all funky. Like, am I right, George? That like before we started, his lighting looked really good. Now the light is like pointed sideways or something. What's going on,
looks
Jerry?
Like he's in like a dungeon.
Yeah,
I'm in my bedroom, Ben, but like the stupid lighting, I can't get it. Yeah, you've murder for real, but. Yeah, it's just the lighting. It's really weird. Like, look, and it's like it's not working to my. Oh, maybe that works, but I don't know, man.
All I know is you need to invest for Christmas a lamp.
A lamp. I guess
that or a lava lamp. One of the two. So,
who does Juve play tomorrow? Spezia.
that is a good question. I've got the fixture list here. Hold on. Yeah, Spezia home against Juventus tomorrow at 12:30. Listen, if Juventus don't start taking 3 points in some of these games, they're going to be in real trouble. They're in the relegation zone right now. I'm not expecting them to stay there. In fact, I'm still expecting them to take one of the top 4 spots. But woof, that is a rough start. But let me introduce our special guest. He is our French football correspondent, and his club, Lyon, had a huge match at the weekend at PSG, and I thought that there were some huge injustices in the officiating that saw PSG take the 2-1 home victory. It did come at a price because Messi got injured. Also, George Rodriguez is with us. Jorge Rodriguez, what's going on with Messi? Because he's, 4 games now with PSG, 0 goals, 0 assists.
Who knows? I guess he's considered tired. Who knows? We may never know, because it's now a PSG is all about noun, verb, Messi. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's getting quite ridiculous. But I had this, highway robbery. We outplayed them at the Parc de France. Angel Di Maria, red card should have happened the first in the 8th minute. Should have been gone. Neymar dove to get his penalty.
That was bad. That was not a penalty.
They were not a penalty. It was a foul from Neymar onto Malo Gusto.
Do they not use VAR in the French league?
Here's the thing. He called the penalty first. I think if you call the penalty first, you don't get it off.
It's harder to overturn.
The other way around, different story. But those 2 events changed the outcome of the game, because we outplayed them throughout most of that game. And I mean, credit to Peter Bosz. We actually got a decent coach, a very good coach, and the fans love him. They back him 1,000%. They love the fact that he's honest, and he's actually playing really good, attractive. Well, he's trying to get there, but right now it's a work in progress. Good, attractive, attacking football, and that game was really good. We played very well. If we play like that, I have good feelings we might get top 3. Go very deep in the Europa League. Who knows? Maybe even reach a final and win it. Who knows? He went there once before with Ajax. You never know. But we'll see. But it's good to talk about Italian football, but also French football as well. Get a different perspective on life.
Well, and there's some good news for you because I know that the Italian team, and George is a really good friend of ours, even though he's primarily a French football fan. He joins us frequently enough that we convinced him to adopt a Serie A club.
I did.
And he has adopted the club that,
Yeah.
it comes from one of the most amazing cities in the world, and they have the best kits in the world, I believe, bar none. The best freaking kits in the world. He has adopted Venezia, and it's not that they're off to a great start. However, they are on top of Juventus in the standings, and they're out of the relegation zone. So you have that going for you, man.
Oh, that feels good. And now I will admit I haven't been able to see most games because it's on Paramount Plus, and I don't have that subscription. But I do get their Facebook, Twitter posts, so it's all good. I try my best. There's a couple Americans that play there from Major League Soccer that went there, so
that's right. Yeah,
very Americanized, American owners, American players. So if anyone is new to Serie A, that is a team to look at, other than the big 4 or 5. You can say 4 or 5. We can say that, right? Italy. Yeah. All right, but yeah.
Oh, definitely.
No, they're definitely. I'm hoping they stay above. Obviously, the goal of this year is to not be relegated, and I would say probably maybe 6 or 7 wins is probably more than enough with a couple of draws to stay them above. We'll see.
And in their case, I don't know if signing multiple American players is the right strategy to stay in the top flight. I don't know how that's going to go.
No, but it gives them good European experience.
It's true. That's true. Right. Oh, man. And of course, Jerry, what is your take? And we're going to get into the question that's scrolling at the bottom, which is the question of the day for this episode. And I want people on the chat to weigh in on this as well. Now, I know Jerry has maybe made a few updates on Twitter as far as his Scudetto predictions. I personally have not updated mine, at least not officially, maybe in private conversations if anyone has those records, but I've not updated my top 4 or my Scudetto prediction since we did our season preview episodes where I consistently had Juventus as my number 1 preseason. I know it's still very early, but I might have to reevaluate that. So I would love to know from you guys watching us, and we are simulcasting this episode. We're on both the 5 Reasons Sports Network, so anybody watching us there, we appreciate you watching, and of course, we're also on our Calcio Connection YouTube channel as well. And I would plead to you guys, if you're watching us on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, please also subscribe to our Calcio Connection YouTube channel because we don't do every show simulcasted. Some yes, some no. So if you want more Calcio content, you want to also find us on the Calcio Connection YouTube channel. And we're trying to bump up our subscriber count there. I think we're like 255 subscribers, whereas on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, it's like more than 13K subscribers. So we'd like some of you guys on 5 Reasons to subscribe on the Calcio Connection as well. So before we get into, everybody's thoughts on the Scudetto, I'd love you guys in the comments. Not only do you want to make sure you smash the like button, but you also want to take advantage of the live chat feature because we're very interactive with that on this show. But Jerry, what's your take on Lazio's start to the season so far? Coming off a draw, prior to that, a very tough loss against Milan, which I think is an important measuring stick because that kind of goes to show Sarri and company kind of where you're at to start the season and adjust your expectations and your adjustments accordingly. So what's your take so far on Lazio's start to the year? And your boy Cheeto is scoring, so that's good.
Well, Cheeto's not the issue. He'll score any way possible. I don't know why he can't do I know why he can't do it with Italy because he doesn't get delivered. He doesn't get the crosses like he does with Lazio. Look how many bangers he scores, man. This guy gets crosses from Sergei Milinkovic-Savic on the right side, Alberto. They know how to play with him. So it's sad that it doesn't happen with Italy. But with Lazio, it's going to take time. It's a work in progress. You're going to see good days and bad days. The question is, do the fans, more important, never mind the fans, does the team decide to stay long-term with him and be patient? It sounds like Tade knows that this is a work in progress. So for him, it's not the issue. It's can the fans tolerate with it? I haven't seen much of Sarri ball with this Lazio team, and the first issue is that Lucas Leiva shouldn't be playing as a regista. That's not what he is. That's not what he's there for. He's a central defensive midfielder. The guy can tackle in as a fifth defense. He can cover a lot of space there, but he's not good at advancing the ball like Jorginho is. So, Florentino Felipe Anderson, really good game on Sunday versus Cagliari. Zaccagni, really good off the bench. I've noticed that Zaccagni's starting to like settle in, starting to look much better with Lazio, so that's encouraging. I think Toma Basic is really taking his time. He didn't play on Sunday. No sorry as well on Thursday, so that's
I forgot about that. That's right.
He
got a red card.
He got his appeal got rejected, so I don't know how bad it was, but they'll have to do it without Sarri on Thursday. So,
is it for one game or two games?
This is the second game he's serving. He'll be back for the derby against Roma, but
that's a good one to come back for at least.
But I have a question for what's Joe like this time of year asking for Nah Biggie.
Yeah. By the way, I think it was who was it? Was it Nah Biggie who pointed out? Yeah, it was Nah Biggie who pointed out first. And then Richard Carmen is taking it to another level, which we appreciate. And by the way, ciao, Richard. And Richard, I want to congratulate Richard and Frank Crivello. They just had their 200th episode. Yeah, they just had their 200th episode on the Serie A sit-down, which is a big milestone. Jerry and I were both privileged to be among the guest list for that one. So cheers to Richard. And yeah, I didn't notice this before tonight, George, but you do. I see a striking resemblance to Rodrigo De Paul. So... yeah, so you're doing pretty well in life because he's a good-looking dude.
Oh my God, I feel like that's a compliment.
It is. Okay. You both have great hairlines, and I'm very jealous of that. As a ball, hold on.
Oh my God, I am very bad.
I'm very jealous. You have that Rodrigo De Paul hairline going on. I know Jerry's jealous of that as well because he's well on his way to the Chrome Dome.
Merci, Richard. Merci.
Oh man. And Jerry, I want to get your take as well on the Fiorentina Inter game today because my biggest takeaway from it was I think it was great mentality shown by the squad because Fiorentina were absolutely flying. And then, people could say, someone said this in the chat, and I do not disagree with this, that you could even argue Inter were lucky not to be down 2-0 or even 3-0 at halftime because Handanovic made some huge saves in that first half. But Inter weathered the storm because I knew watching like the first 25 minutes, Jerry, I knew there was no way on God's green earth, unless they were on like the old Gasperini vitamin regimen, that there was any way Fiorentina could keep up that intensity for 90 minutes. Like it just did not seem plausible because their press was relentless in the first half of that game. So I was looking at that saying, and Inter were not doing well playing out of that press because they were way too lackadaisical, so they had their own problems. But watching the way Fiorentina played, I knew you have to weather the storm. You need to keep it either 0-0 or maybe you can afford to give up one goal, and then you've got to hope in the second half that Fiorentina just can't play with that same intensity, and that's when your quality can take over, and that's precisely how it played out. Matteo Darmian, I wasn't happy certainly with the way that he played in the first half, and I was longing for Dumfries, but he ends up scoring a big goal to tie it up. Hakan Çalhanoğlu had been absolutely in the mud, and Jerry, grazie for the jinx, because Jerry tweeted something around halftime about how Çalhanoğlu is unfixable and there's nothing Simone Inzaghi can do.
Shit.
He is still shit, but he had like 50 corner kicks and he finally had a good delivery to Edin Dzeko, who headed it in for the go-ahead goal, which was gigantic. And then just a couple minutes later, the first two goals were just a couple minutes apart. And then later in the 87th minute, Inter had been playing for, near a half hour with a 2-1 lead. We were, I was on the edge of my seat, and Ivan Perisic scores a lovely goal to give Inter that 3-1 and a little bit of breathing room to get that victory. So it felt great. I thought there was a lot of mentality and a lot of character shown by the squad. And obviously, most of the players on this team were on the squad that won the Scudetto last year, so you still have that championship mentality. So I was very tense during the first half, really happy with the way that Inter finished that game. And that's a big 3 points. I mean, the Franchi in Florence is not an easy place to play. And my compliments to Fiorentina because they look dramatically better than they did with that coaching carousel they had of the Beppe Iacchinis of the world the last couple of years. Vincenzo Italiano is clearly doing a fantastic job improving that squad mentality. So that was a really nice 3 points. I was nervous about the game. I thought maybe it was going to be a draw. 3 points for Inter today to go provisionally back atop the table was absolutely massive. Jerry, what were some of your big takeaways on the game?
Well, I'm tripping out with this light for the minute here because it keeps on going light then dark, but I'm not touching the light. So I don't understand how it's going black then light. Yeah, exactly. And then I don't get it, man. I'm not touching anything. It's tripping me out. But
it's that Canadian power company, bro. Like, who knows what you have going on?
My
the
biggest
Devils let us either.
My biggest takeaway is the fight that happened after the game. Did you see that?
No, in the Inter game?
It's go check Football
No, what happened?
The fans brawled. The
Fiorentina
and Inter.
Side note, there's already been 2 of those in Ligue 1, and it's already caused 2 teams to have closed stadiums.
Really?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I did not know
that. Is that the
Nice
that's one? Yeah, I saw that one. That was amazing. I
thought it was hilarious.
Hold on, we're going side topic here.
To do this, but literally, Dimitri Payet. The reason why it caused it was because I guess the fans.
Yeah, I would do the same too, though.
On Payet threw it right back. The Nice fans got pissed and tried to storm the pit. And then the assistant coach or one of the physios punched a Nice fan in the face. He got banned for the rest of the season, and I think Sampoli was gonna go ape shit on him.
Jesus.
And then this past weekend, it was Lens versus Lille, which is a local derby, and Lille fans were throwing chairs that they got from the stadium.
It's like a pro wrestling event,
and literally tossed it over the fence. So the Lens fans ran onto the other side of the pitch to confront the Lille fans. And literally, like, armored police guards had to, block the 2 from projectiles and shit. Hilarious. Nice had 4 games, closed stadium. Lens have 2 home games, closed stadium. And both have to be paid. The Nice-Marseille game, is going to be replayed at a neutral site. And Nice got docked a point.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
You don't fuck around with that. But that's just how things are with the Ultras. But I didn't mean to go venture off into French football.
No, Marseille. The Marseille Ultras are really bad. That when Lazio plays Marseille in the Europa League, it can get really bad.
Your group is the group of the group of fines. There's going to be a lot of fines coming from that group. You have Lazio fans that are cuckoo. Galatasaray fans that are even worse. Russian fans, and then you have Marseille fans that are fucking crazy. I don't know how.
I've heard. Well, the Galatasaray game basically there weren't any Lazio fans allowed, but I'm not sure if it's because of COVID and you can't travel there or restrictions. But I'm gonna drift back towards this Inter game for my boy Alex here.
And by the way, Jerry, before you get into the game, do you want to answer this? Because this is a good question. I want to answer it as well. I'll let you go first.
What is Inter's biggest weak point on or off the pitch? Oh, man.
Good question.
24 hours ago, you would have said before Saturday's game that Handanovic was the weakness. I think
it's a weakness.
It's a weakness.
It's a weakness.
I don't know.
But I don't think it's. I'm gonna say Perisic. Is probably the biggest weakness. I'll say with Perisic. I'll go off the board. He does not inspire me, man. That guy there is just a waste of fucking space. Get the heck off the field, man. I watched him today, and it's just like a guy just running. He's like Salamakers, man. Like, you ever watch Salamakers play?
Yeah.
Like, he runs. He runs hard, but at least he's trying. With Perisic, he's just running into a brick wall.
Any credit for his goal, though? I mean, and he had some good moments at left wing back last year, but he actually he moved to a more advanced position before he scored the goal because DeMarco took over at left wing back and Perisic moved up the pitch.
I just don't. When you can see what DeMarco can provide, it's day and night, man. The guy, it's day. I don't know why Perisic is still starting. Like, he's good to come off the bench, you want to play your 20 minutes, have a nice day. I think another weakness is Hakan. I said it today. I still think
no question. Yeah, no, you're right. There's no question about that.
My God, holy crap. Like, every Milan fan should just, like, knock on me, man. Again, guys, I'm on the pod now. I'm not hiding behind Twitter. I do not cry when you guys call me out when I'm wrong for certain comments or anything. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's all fair game banter. But, like, you know what? I called out Hakan thinking that he was going to be, I don't know, turned around, but, like, that hasn't been the case. It's one good game, and it's your debut game versus Verona. I expect anybody in their debut to always play good. You thought Perisic was one of the man of the matches? No, not that guy. Not for me, but
I didn't think he was that bad, to be honest. Like, I thought to me the man of the match was probably Brozovic. He's been insane these last few games. He's been fantastic.
But then again, I wasn't really paying attention to player wise. I'm just watching the game. If you want, if you want to know who I thought man of the match was prior to picking up the red, Nico Gonzalez. He was my man in the match. He
was very good. Although I thought he got away. I thought he was very good, no question. I thought he got away with a foul on their goal. Between him and Skriniar, I thought that should have been a foul, but it was one of those things. Like when Fiorentina scored, I thought their goal should not have hit, but I wasn't that mad that they scored because they deserved it on the run of play. So it just felt like, it felt like football justice in a way that they scored their goal. But I thought that Nico Gonzalez got away with the foul. And then you're right about the red card. That was so fucking stupid.
So dumb.
And I know a lot of people thought, no, it wasn't even that. It was protesting because he thought his jersey got pulled, and so he was trying to say that I can't remember which Inter player it was, but he was trying to say that the guy who pulled his shirt should have been carded. So he was complaining to the referee, and the referee
was right though. It was
but the thing is, you've got to know when to stop. Like, because nothing's gonna come out. Like I don't know of any professional referee like in top flight of any European league who's ever said, you know what, you're right, I will give him a yellow card because you're complaining so much. Like, you have to know when enough is enough. So he protested, he got a yellow card, then he went with the sarcastic clapping, and we know what happens after that. He gets 2 yellows and a red. It was just stupid.
That was just a brain fart moment, it seems like.
But he came from the South American League, I'm pretty sure. I think he played in South America before he came.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know where he came from.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm 90% sure he came from South America, and if that's the case, hold on. Those guys, they dictate the game in South America. They are not scared of referees. The referees are scared of them. And
it's a very aggressive continent.
Yeah, it's different. The mentality is different. So
just like in Spain.
Yeah, man.
They always go up to the referee.
They don't give a shit, man. That's just the way he's accustomed to. But his game overall, before that card, well, I like this guy. This guy's got balls, man. He runs hard.
Yeah, he
finishes his plays. I know he took out Skriniar on one play, and I'm okay with it because it's get in your face, play football. None of this little touch me, I roll over the floor kind of thing. Like, his skills, his dribbling's amazing. I think in the second half he went through like 3 guys. I thought that Sotil was just so bad because he was so good but so bad, where he got around, got into areas. His crossing was so terrible that they could have scored at least created 5 chances if that guy knew how to put a ball into the box. It was so bad. I thought Barella was okay. Skriniar was very good, even though
he's been on a tear lately.
Even though he got burned on that goal.
He got burned on the goal, but he got fouled on the goal, though, is the thing. So, like, did he really get burned? Because I thought that he should have gotten a whistle. And also, I thought the yellow card they gave him was not fair either. And I guess like it was a bang bang play, and they don't check VAR for yellow cards. But I thought it was a clean tackle that they gave him a yellow for.
That card was bullshit. I agree. So bad, but like, I know, is it a foul? Again, it's so soft. That's why I don't think it's a foul, because let these guys fucking play, man. I'm serious. Let them play.
By the way, Nico Gonzalez, they're telling us he came from Stuttgart in the German league. He came from Bundesliga.
Okay, there you go. That's why. I was wrong then. Great player though, man.
He is Argentinian though, so I could understand.
Oh,
like Rodrigo de Paul, which I look
Yeah.
at a picture. I do not look like him.
I think it's the hairline, bro. I'm telling you, you do. I mean, I never forget a hairline.
I'm starting to go distracted. I'm like looking at pictures of him. I'm like, yeah, he's good looking, but he is. I am not on his level.
I get people think it's a foul, but I need to look at it again. I'm pretty sure he jumps up in the air. Skriniar goes into his back. He goes down, if I'm not mistaken, or does he go into his back?
No, I thought Nico when it hit, like he went on top of him onto his back. I thought it was a clear foul.
I don't know, man. Like these, when it's 50-50 in the air, it's like a coin toss of who gets the foul. You know what I mean? Like who's going to attempt for the ball. Like I don't want to say who's at fault because I'm not even sure sometimes when those fouls happen. Seriously, I'm gonna be honest. When I see a play like that, I sometimes think that they're both on foul and like just let them play. One guy's going in for the ball. One guy's not looking towards with his back to the play. So like, let him play. Like there's so many pity fouls that so look at that situation now. You let the play go, okay? And all of a sudden, where's the foul? Where's the foul? But like, keep playing on the play. Everybody stops. All the Inter players stop, thinking that there's a foul. The announcer says it. Rule number 1.
Play until the whistle.
Exactly, man. Like
I got you, Jerry. I got you.
And I love how every player thinks that when they fall down, as long as they grab the ball with their hand, they'll get the foul call. It's like, it's a move. Like fall over,
stupid.
Grab the ball with your hand, because then the referee's like, well, I can't call a hand, and I got to call the foul. It's weird. It's like a Jedi mind trick.
Torres should have been fouled when he grabbed the ball, but again, the card went to him because he grabbed the ball like an idiot. What are you gonna do? Like, like I said, I was gonna say before, I play ball hockey, and half of these guys play soccer, okay, / football, however you want to say it. I call it football. You guys call it soccer.
We'll call it calcio.
Okay. What I hate when I play ball hockey is that everyone waits for a call and they stop playing, and we concede goals.
Oh, I hate that.
Bro, what I always get mad. I always play to the whistle. Even
Jerry, you're Canadian. You should play ice hockey or curling.
No, I play ball. I can't skate for shit, man. But like, well, I haven't played for a while, but like, still, like when we play, you play to the whistle. You don't play for the referee to make the call, and you give up a goal. Like and it's not just Inter here. Lazio does it a lot. They're very notorious for that. I'll be honest. They look at the call, they keep going. It's like, bro. You may think that Skriniar is foul, okay? But when that referee's on that pitch, he's gonna make a split decision and right away has to make that call. And that's why sometimes when you see a late call, it's basically people are like, "Oh, why did it take a minute long?" And it's like, well, you got the side ref. Well, you could have checked VAR as well. I guess that's another scenario. Maybe they did check VAR that we don't know about. I think all plays are reviewed,
especially goals. Yeah. Like there's a silent check.
There's a silent check. And
it doesn't mean they don't get it wrong sometimes, though. They still get plenty of them wrong.
But, like, again, you can say that it's a foul, but there's so many calls that went Inter's way that were against Fiorentina as well. Like I said, the Torreira play, where that should have been a yellow. He gets manhandled against who takes him down. I think it's Skriniar, no? Who just mammoths him? Or somebody did. I forgot who it was.
Think so. I can't remember either.
I can't remember. He gets destroyed. That should have been a foul. But again, it's the game where you're gonna get calls your way. You're not gonna get calls your way, and you keep going. But I thought Dzeko had a good game.
Yeah,
scored when he had to. Again, I was on my phone a lot, so I have a habit of doing that lately. But
Alex, what are your thoughts of Dzeko now at Inter? Is he still doing good? Obviously, it's a big void to fill with Lukaku, but is he like?
And let me give you a 2-for-1 because that's part of my answer to that original question. I think it was Scoundrel Pilled who asked it. Yeah, here's the question.
By the way, love that guy. He understands curling. Let's go.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Is he from Canada? Scoundrel Pilled?
I don't know.
If he's using curling lingo, you would think he would have to be.
I
He's
don't
not
know.
from Florida.
Fuzz, curling is awesome.
I curl sometimes.
So is that a curling term? Because I'm a Floridian. That went right over my head.
What,
Ooh, and I think we are joined now by the fourth member of our team here tonight.
Oh my God,
The Eagle.
Hello.
William has landed.
Yes.
Oh, he's driving. He's driving while he's doing this.
Where the heck were you the last half hour? Were you looking for?
It seems like he's driving, so I don't want him to crash. Or like, do you want to like rejoin us when you're stationary?
I'm not gonna look at the. I'm just gonna speak. I'm not gonna look at the video right now.
Don't worry.
This is a team player right there. He's right there. But no, real quick, and I'll introduce William properly, but I want to address not only Jorge's question, but the question from Scoundrel Pilled, because they tie in together, who asked, and Jerry already answered it, but he asked, what is Inter's biggest weak point on or off the pitch? Until proven otherwise consistently, I'm still worried about consistent goal scoring from the strikers, and Dzeko is a big part of that, because I under the circumstances, like when Lukaku decides late in the transfer window that he really wants to leave, they sell him, for a big sum of money. They didn't reinvest all of it, nor did they really have appropriate time to really explore every option to reinvest it. Like, listen, I like the Correa addition. He didn't play today because of a knock that he took over the weekend. I think Dzeko can still do some work out there, as he's proven with 4 goals and an assist already so far this season. And I think Lautaro has got to improve. And, Alexis, he's not going to be consistently healthy, but I think he's capable of providing a spark for this club. But I still worry about replacing the goals that you lose with Lukaku, because Alexis, I'm not even going to talk about Alexis because he's hurt more than he's healthy. Lautaro has shown he is still on the team. He is. He's finally been healthy, at least to come off the bench the last couple of games. But like Lautaro has shown that he's a very streaky player. Like, he's going to go through some periods where for 3 or 4 games, he's scoring goals for fun. And then for the next 3 or 4 games, he just can't get a proper touch on the ball. He had a really poor touch today. Barella gave him an assist on a silver platter, and Lautaro just whiffed on it. It was bad. So he's going to go through some periods where he just can't get the right touch in the final third, unfortunately. But he's a great player. Like, I'm happy he's signing an extension. He's just not that consistent. And then I'm not expecting consistency from Dzeko either, because he's 35, and I just don't think he has the legs, to play 2 matches a week and bang in tons of goals. So that's my biggest answer to you as well, on Dzeko. He's been really far, and I think it was important for him that he scored a couple of late goals in the Bologna game, because he didn't look that great earlier in that game. So I thought scoring a couple of late goals was really good for his confidence, and he was good today. So I still think he's capable of putting some really good performance there. I just don't think at his age he can do it consistently. So I worry about the striking. But let's bring on the fourth member of our team here today. Really happy to bring this guy on for the first time. I consider this man
the Twitter. Yes.
Oh, man. And listen, I'm a huge fan. I consider this guy a friend. It's been way too long before we finally had him on. AKA Billy Eagle is with us. And I know he's a Juventino. So try, guys, in the chat, refrain from some jokes here at this time. It's not been a good start for Juventus. But Billy, how you doing, sir?
I'm just going to bring up Lyon versus Juventus. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Our guy George there is a Lyon fan.
Yeah, fair play to you. You won. I'm well.
By-away goals.
Just coming back from dinner with a friend, and I'm glad I was able to catch this. It kind of slipped my mind for a few moments. And this will be nice. I don't really have a big social media presence per se.
I can't see it.
But I'm happy to be here.
Half the time I couldn't even see what your face
he's humble.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's he's operating a vehicle and doing so very careful. Oh, I'm not gonna. Oh, see, there you go. Like he goes when he goes under a street light, you can see his face get lit up.
I feel like that's a red light.
So Billy,
is it raining, Will?
It could be a red light.
Yes, it is. It is raining a little bit. Yeah.
Oh man.
Alex, go ahead.
And
what were you gonna ask?
Yeah, I wanted to go back with you because Milan Juventus was obviously a massive match over the weekend, and the first 45 minutes, and Juve took, the 1-0 lead into halftime. I thought that was some tremendous football, best football Juve have played so far this season. So, kind of your take, Billy, on the way the whole match played out, and how disappointed were you to see Juve give up a late?
I mean, of course I was disappointed. I'm not going to lie. You think with Allegri coming back, they're going to have that ironclad shutdown defense when it comes to the end of the match. But, the past few transfer windows have just been very, very scattershot. There's no continuity, per se, as far as the roster goes. You have a lot of pieces that really don't fit together. And Allegri is trying to suss it out right now. And it's going to take a little bit of time. I think they're going to have very strong performances in Europe. I think Serie A is going to be a little bit of an issue going forward, at least for a little bit. But I'm hopeful that late October date, kind of like 15-16, Juventus is going to get their shit together, and they're going to start playing the football that everyone expected prior to the season started, when they were, legitimate Scudetto contenders. I mean, I think every betting line service, however you want to put it, had them winning the Scudetto as far as the odds go.
Yeah.
They were negative here. They were like negative 100 on DraftKings. So, I mean, it seems like a lot of the smart money at the time went to them. The start so far.
No, I think he may be going through a dead zone
because it's Malmo. Yeah.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Hold on. I think we got you again. Yeah, okay. I can hear you.
Yeah. The Malmo game, I don't want to put too much stock into that because it's Malmo, but I think the first, 45 minutes against Milan were very impressive. And I love that Dybala was the catalyst because he is the guy on that team along with Chiesa if anything's going to happen offensively for them. And they're going to make up those goals that, departed when Ronaldo left. Me, I'm not too worried about Ronaldo. I've had conversations with a very well-known Calcio host on Twitter. He's gotten very angry at me because I don't know. He's a very
Isn't the guy that should not be named?
I think there's a few guys who should not be named.
Oh, okay.
We can name him. It's David Amoyal. We can name him. We've gone back and forth now for
isn't he a fraud?
two and a half years. Yeah, and
he's a friend of mine. Come on, man.
For quite a while now, and I think to a degree I was proven right. I don't think they had the capital to support him and really get the results and the talent. And I also think he cannibalized a lot of goals from his teammates.
Yes.
I don't know any player on Juve that really took a step up the past 3 years playing alongside of him. Dybala regressed tremendously.
What happened to him?
Quadrado, I guess you can say, he's been quite good. Maybe you can make the connection to Ronaldo because Ronaldo has headed in so many goals, but I expect him to make the players around him better, and I really didn't see that. Juventus will be fine. People are panicking. They shouldn't. Allegri's a great manager. I would say he's top 5 in the world. His pragmatism is really going to shine, I think, in Europe. I think Juventus has... I know I'm going to get shit and be called like a fanboy, but I think they have a legitimate chance when they play Chelsea to walk away with points. Now, I don't think they're going to win, but I don't think a draw is out of the realm of possibility.
Hot take.
And Jerry's wearing the Chelsea shirt.
Center back pairing. That was.
The banter's coming from me if Chelsea beats Juve, okay? Hard banter's coming, like massive.
And I'm gonna like every single one of those.
I you know what, Will, you said a good point, man. I agree with Quadrado. I think that he benefited the most playing with Ronaldo
in Europe altogether.
Oh, he's still going.
I just think that
you keep cutting out, Will.
Yeah, the connection. It was really good for a few minutes. Not so good right now.
Did you hear?
Any of
that? Be right back.
Cool, no worries. Oh,
yeah,
and hold on. While Will is sorting it out, we'll pop him back when he's ready. While Will is sorting that out, I want to get into the topic of the day. And Jerry, I'll start with you because honestly, I may need a little bit more time to think about my answer. Who is your Scudetto favorite now? Jerry, you know this. We've done so many shows together. Before the season started, I was picking Juventus, and that had a lot to do with the Allegri factor. I know that they've only played their first 4 games, so people can call this an overreaction, but 2 points from their first 4 games. I'm taking a step back from Juventus. I don't think I can, earnestly pick them as a Scudetto winner right now. And Jerry, you actually initially had Inter as your Scudetto winner. So has your thought process changed? Because you have a couple of other clubs off to flying starts, thinking about Napoli and Milan, who have been very, very good to start the year. And Roma were off to a great start, but they did have a setback against Verona this past week. Have you changed your Scudetto pick? Who are you going with?
No, I'm still going with Inter. I'm not changing my pick all year. I'll die by it. The only thing I'll change is that I had Verona in the relegation battle. I think they'll survive now that they fired Di Francesco.
Yes, that was a good move.
That was probably the best decision that they ever made.
Yeah.
I think I'll take them out, and I'll put. I always pronounce this team the worst, but like Salernitana, I can never.
You should know that one. That's Lotito's team. You should know that one.
I never pronounce it right, man. I think I call them Sal, but they're gonna get relegated. Unfortunately, they look like one of those North American sports teams where they have that grit, that kind of build up, like an Oilers. If you ever watched the Oilers prior to McDavid coming, they never had a scorer. And this is hockey I'm talking about, guys. If for those in North America, they had a team that can build up, play hard, and keep games close. But they would always lose 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. They never had that guy who can score the goals or multiple players. And that kind of looks like what they are, where you got Sal basically playing hard against Atalanta on Saturday, but they don't have that finisher. Maybe Simi should be playing. I don't know. I don't know why he's off the bench with 20 minutes to go, but I just don't see it happening. But in regards to Scudetto winner, it's Inter. I think they had Pepe Marotta did what he had to. He replaced his players with quality depth. Yes, Dzeko is not, and I'm gonna go off the record here. Like, I don't care that people insult me on Twitter. That's all great. I don't give a shit. But nor did I say that Dzeko has aged and is no longer good. I have said that they went from a Mercedes to a Williams. That doesn't mean that you're shit. That doesn't mean that you're garbage. That means that you aged. Where does it say that? I don't know. I love how Twitter, these people live and die behind a screen and can't, like, it's a bunch of 20-year-olds. But anyways, what I mean by
20 is being generous. A bunch of 16-year-olds.
Like
but like going from a Mercedes to a Williams is basically the essential of what Williams is. Do you not know how bad the Williams is in Formula One?
I don't watch Formula
Okay,
One,
well, I can help you then. We're not talking about this right now. But the point is, you went from gold to bronze.
Alex, so he could be like, help me out here.
You basically went from gold to bronze. That's what you did. And
okay, there we go.
It's a big, massive decrease. It's a decline going from Lukaku to Dzeko. I'm sorry, but you got to give credit.
I admit that.
But you got to give credit to Dzeko. He is holding his own weight, and they are using him to his kind of like strengths. And there was another tweet where I said that they had dead weight in Dzeko and Pedro at Roma, and they were dead weight at freaking Roma. I'm sorry. Does it mean that there's hypocrisy towards me now that Pedro's at Lazio? You can say that if you want. Sure, maybe I thought at the time they weren't good, but you know what? It also contributed to the fact that they just were stale at Roma and needed to go.
Yeah.
So
a change of scenery is always good for players.
Yeah, but it's banter. I'm a Lazio fan. I am going to shit on Roma. Like, that's just the way it is. It was 90% Roma fans coming back at me on those tweets, but I don't care really. Like, at the end of the day, Inter has everything in place to win the Scudetto. Now, Now, I will change one of my picks as well. I have Lazio finishing 4th. I think they're going to finish 6th or 7th. It's going to be a difficult year. It's just that you're going to see them look good on days, bad on days, frustrating on days. And the frustrating day was on Sunday where they just couldn't score against Cagliari when they should have won that game. I like Napoli. I had Napoli finishing 2nd, Milan at 3rd, or vice versa.
Are you quoting the CIES Football Observatory?
No, I'm quoting myself, actually. This is what I made.
Really? I'm not
myself.
literally a lie, Jerry. That's literally the way that they had
Really?
Serie A standings.
I didn't see that.
I changed it up.
I'm basing it off of that. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
I don't watch Serie A very often. So I'm basing it off of CIS Football Observatory. They made their updated projections. And I'm going to say Inter Milan and Napoli are head-to-head. 3rd is Milan. 4th is Roma. 5th, Atalanta. And they said, as of right now, they think they're projecting Juve to be 6th, Lazio 7th.
Oof.
Yeah,
So,
I think Roma will finish ahead of Lazio, actually. I think that...
And it's the Jose factor.
You know what? I haven't even watched the Roma game this year. Not one. And I've heard mixed results where they look good, they look bad.
Well, it's funny because the only match of theirs I haven't watched was their loss against Verona. So I don't know like how bad they were in that game. I watched them in their matches prior, and they looked fantastic. Like I'm not gonna lie.
I have Juventus finishing 5th or 6th. I think there's going to be a massive drop off. I know Will thinks I know that he's not acting like a fanboy. I think that Will,
Just being honest.
Yeah, I think people have to understand that Will's not being a fanboy. I think he's thinking on history too. He understands,
and they have the quality. Like their team has quality. Like they have better quality than a 5th or 6th place team.
No, the thing with Juventus, I feel like they don't have that Juve DNA that Allegri said after the game, and I agree with him. They don't have that killer instinct where they want to win.
They're complacent.
Yeah, like it's like Simone Inzaghi said last year. I had to go. I gave what I could. I did what I had to. And people are so mad because the way he left. You should be happy he left because he did the most he can do with this club. Yeah. And I'm scared that maybe for Juventus fans, well, I'm not scared, but maybe bringing Allegri back wasn't the right decision in that he did already what he could in his previous stay with the club and that he already reached his max. And maybe this is a Zidane kind of situation where he should never came back.
Beat me to it.
Wow, you stole George's thought.
Like
I was going to say the people that come back to the club for the second time around don't normally be as successful.
Yeah,
look at Jose Mourinho at Chelsea the second time around.
Mancini at Inter also.
Exactly, Zidane. Yeah. You know, it's just like why go back to where you obviously did good. But you don't think you're not gonna repeat the same thing.
I want to hear Will. I want to let the Juventino speak on this one because Will, I know you were very excited about Allegri's return, and as an Interista, I was fearing Allegri's return. So what do you make of what Jerry just brought up?
I think the sample size is way too small yet to draw opinions.
Yeah,
it's just, you know. The rot really set in, I guess you could say, during Allegri's last season. You started seeing signs. And then I think Sarri and Pirlo, they exasperated it. Yeah. So now I think it's time. We have to see. We have to give Allegri a little bit more time. Like, at least until January, to be honest with you. But I think he can fix things. He is a very pragmatic manager. He's like... It's very interesting how he sees the game. Like he's spoken about basketball numerous times. I know from some interviews that I read. And basically he wants to put his best players in the best position to do well. And I think he's starting to do that. I mean, the way Dybala played, that was the Dybala like that you saw last time when Juventus got knocked out against Real Madrid when they had that horrific, situation with Michael Oliver. But that was the last time you really saw Dybala play that way. So it's really encouraging on some level. And I'm not worried about the results. It's way too early in the season. Like there's way too much talent on that roster. Allegri's biggest issue is going to be fitting all these pieces together. And
I know he can do it because he's done it before. Like, he's the guy who had the crazy fucking idea, excuse my language, to put Mandzukic.
Oh, we curse here all the time. Don't worry,
I
bro.
swear.
I mean,
He had
for
the
once,
cra-
I called some person a cunt on this thing before.
It was Wanda. He called Wanda Nara.
Okay, fair enough.
So there you go. You can go ahead and swear.
You know, he's the one who came up with the idea to put Mandzukic as a left winger. Like, who would have thought of that? And honestly, I think I've had, you know, numerous spaces now with a number of people, and I was on like a space with some Juventini last week, and the way I want to see Juventus line up, and I don't know if Allegri is going to do this, but I hope he does. I hope Juventus go back to that 4-2-3-1 formation. I want to see Danilo. I want to see on the as a right wing back or right back. I want to see Chiellini and Bonucci. With De Ligt, obviously switching off with Chiellini and Bonucci, depending on the health of the two of them. Then I want to see Sandro as the left back. I want to see Locatelli and Bendencourt. And then on like playing that Mandzukic role, I'd like to see Alvaro Morata. I'd like to see Dybala right behind the striker. I'd like to see Cuadrado on the right wing. And I'd like to see Federico Chiesa used as a false nine.
Wow. Now, can I ask you a question about the
Yeah.
center backs? Obviously, you got De Ligt. You got your baby.
Yeah.
Who do you need to get the second half of that pairing? Because Chiellini and Bonucci is kind of getting older now. I feel like they're past their prime, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is there someone that you think is either whether it's through the youth academy or that's out on loan right now that you think would fit into that second slot to go with De Ligt?
No, there's no one there, to be quite frank with you. No, I mean, Rugani, that's a big problem with the roster. They don't have a fourth center back. Rugani is not, you know, everyone had a lot of hope and I guess you could say hype associated with him, and it never materialized. I know, like, early on he was compared to Barzagli, and it never came to fruition. Now, people are going to say it's because he didn't play, but I think that's a little bit of a cop-out. If he actually had the talent to play, Allegri would have played him. And it was just never there. And I know some people are high on the Romanian kid, Dragosin.
And did you guys have still DeShiglio?
He's a right back, and he's
I feel your
not
pain,
it.
Will. I feel your pain. I know with him being a left back, but he was great as a center back. Just pointing that out. Great as a center back. But
No,
beside the
he's
point-
not. He's not.
Oh,
no.
well, in Lyon he was. When he played a center back, he actually was very good. But continue. I was like, "Ooh, you have something in common. That guy is shit. Is he?"
Yeah, he's not the greatest. That's another guy that was
And he has high
he
money.
was revered like when he was younger. He got compared to Maldini, if you guys remember, and it just never happened for him. Like, he had a great Euros when Conte was the manager, and I thought, okay, finally, this kid is going to take off. Juventus has him. It's going to be great, and whatever. Stagnation.
By the way, hold on. I had to flash this comment because this dude, Lord Figo, has graced us with his presence. One of my favorite accounts on Twitter.
Figo.
Lord,
Cereal
cereal milk
milk.
in the house. Cereal milk in the house.
Jesus Christ! I want to go back to a point Will was talking about earlier, and we were talking about Ronaldo and how he kind of ruined players around him, right? And like how players couldn't play around him. No, I think one player who benefited it was Cuadrado.
Yeah.
I think he's the one guy who benefits because he's not a scorer; he's a playmaker. And the way he plays, the way he can advance the ball and distribute it is perfect for Ronaldo. How many times did he cross the ball in the box where it was perfect to Ronaldo and he scored? That's the kind of Ronaldo player where he can play off him. But the problem is he didn't have another 9 more to help him with that. He only had maybe 1 or 2 that wanted to give him the ball.
And he had no midfield.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. How does, like, I agree with you, Will. I wrote a piece for a site a while back about why Ronaldo had to go, and I'm with you, man. This team was never built for Ronaldo from day one. Like, it's like you spent all your money on one thing, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
people, as rich as Juventus is, the Italian.
$1 million in debt right now.
Well, hold on. Now
A lot of clubs are in debt right now.
Before Ronaldo came to Juventus, they were never this debt. Okay.
Yeah, they were in the black actually.
Yeah.
For 2 seasons in a row.
Let's be realistic here. As much as I shit on Juventus a lot because of what they did in bringing Ronaldo, and that's all. And I think the biggest factor about Ronaldo people forget is the guy who left because of Ronaldo is Beppe Marotta. Now Beppe Marotta is at Inter. And what's he doing with Inter? The guy is making, I don't know, he's making wonders with no money. Like, he had to bring in 150 million to buy players. I think he did a really good job with Dumfries. Got him for 15 million. Who else did he got Hakan on a free? Even as we hold on, even if we no, hold on, no. But this is what I like. No, I like this deal though. As bad as he can be on a lot of games, he's a player that can still help in Champions League. Who can, as much as I don't think he's been good so far, he's a body, and that's where I'm gonna go to Lazio now. You go sign,
and he got Dzeko on a free, and he got Correa, I thought, for a pretty fair price, especially negotiating with Lotito, who I'm sure wanted to play hardball after the whole Inzaghi situation. So there's no question he did. I mean, having to make a couple of big sales, he did very well in the transfer window.
Well, what I want to say is that look at the Hakan deal. He got him for free, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't Lazio get David Luiz for free? People are laughing at me.
Sideshow Bob at your place?
Hold on, man. He's 34 years old, but you're not understanding. See, that's the thing. He's a body. Lucas Leiva cannot play like he used to anymore. And Will's laughing because he agrees. He's not a liability as a defensive midfielder, David Luiz. He can play that position the way he plays. He's aggressive. He can move the ball up. He can move it back. Like, he does things that Sarri wants. He was one of Sarri's best players during the 2018-19 season, okay? Most trustworthy player. These are things. Why do you think Pedro's playing so good right now? Because he understands what Sarri wants. He has the confidence from Sarri. Luiz would do the same thing. It's so mad because we could have bought a player. Fucking wages $3 million a year. Pay it, man. It's one stupid year. You're not tied down long term. I'm actually skeptical about that Joaquin Correa deal. I think that Inter overpaid for him, personally, the more I think about it, because he's not worth $31+ million. Because you're gonna, I'm telling you right.
I don't know what to make of prices these days. Like, it's hard. Like, I don't know who's worth.
I think
what
they bit,
now.
man. I think they bit, man, because like Correa is a good player. I'm not gonna shit on him because that would just be being like what do you call it? Being a hypocrite, and I'm not gonna be that. The problem with Correa is you're not going to get more than 9 goals. And he's never scored more than 9 goals in a season in Serie A.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
how old is he
like,
now, Jerry? Is
he's
what,
25. No, I think he's older.
No, he's like
27.
27. I think he is.
27,
Yeah,
but
27.
he injury prone. This guy is such injury prone, and he's so inconsistent. It's not funny. Look how good he was against Hellas Verona, and then he dipped off in the next 3 games where he was okay. I'm not saying he was bad. But he wasn't nowhere near to that level you saw in the opening game. That's just Correa. He's hot and cold, and it's very frustrating because he's got the potential to be one of the best, and he doesn't do it on a straight line, man. He's just like roller coaster. It's bad, man. Like,
but he doesn't have to be the guy.
Bingo.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He's got to facilitate because he's always going to be, and their consistency has to come with that as well, of course. But like, I'm not worried about the goal totals for him. Like saying 9 goals, like just that in itself doesn't worry me that much because he's always going to be on the pitch in a partnership with Lautaro, who would be the primary the primary striker in that partnership, or Dzeko, who would be the primary striker. Like, I don't think we'll see much of Correa and Alexis together because they play like very redundant roles. So he's always going to be on the pitch with Lautaro or with Dzeko. And so he's got to be consistent with his facilitation. So like, I'm not expecting him to bang in 15, 20 goals. Like if he only scores 8 or 9 goals, that's probably okay. But to Jerry, to your point, yeah, he's got to stay healthy. And like, I don't blame him for taking the knock that he took over the weekend, because that was a really rough tackle that he took. I think anybody would have gotten a little bit banged up in that spot. Probably a blessing that it's not more serious than it was. So he should be back this weekend for the Atalanta game. But yeah, I do need consistency from him. I just don't need him to bang in a ton of goals.
If I'm Inter, I'm very worried about that Atalanta game. I saw a little bit of Atalanta today, mainly the first half. And I had to jump on a call for work. And they look like they're gelling. And if Inter's not on top, like I saw a little bit of the Inter game as well. I was switching back and forth. And Fiorentina kind of dominated the early portion of that match.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if that same scenario arises against Atalanta, a more experienced team, they could get like the doors blown off like the first like 30, 35 minutes.
Is that on
I've
Saturday?
seen that happen before. Yeah, it's on Saturday, and I've seen that happen before. It was one of the seasons with Spalletti. The game that I'm thinking of was at Bergamo. Like, obviously, I feel a little bit better about it being a home game than a road game, because Bergamo's a really, really tough place to play. But I can remember one of the games against Atalanta with Spalletti's Inter, when they went into Atalanta, and they got smoked. Like, Atalanta were on the front foot. They were on, the Gasparini vitamins probably. They were pressing for 90 minutes, and just Inter did not look ready for that game. And they got like you were saying, they got their doors absolutely blown off. But something I wanted to get Will's take on kind of the question of the day. And you seem like a really rational guy. Unlike me, you're trying not to read too much into 4 or 5 matches being played by all these teams. But who's your Scudetto favorite now, Will? And has your pick changed from preseason now to, we're on the 5th match day. Not every team has played 5 games yet, but has your position changed over the first month of the season?
Sure. Juventus. So prior to the season starting, I had like a top 3 that I pretty much stuck to. Juventus was the Scudetto winner. And then I oscillated between Atalanta and Napoli. I'm confident that Allegri is going to be able to turn this around. I want to see Napoli play some matches where they are the team and they have the target on their backs, because historically they don't do well then. And
neither does Spalletti.
No.
I was going to ask what your thoughts are on Napoli for winning the Scudetto. Obviously, the person that we shall not be named would be extremely excited and would just go off all day. We know who that person is. But
there's many people.
I think he's talking about Phil now.
Oh,
thank you.
Little Philly. The mayor of Munchkinland.
Oh, hey, it's good to know I'm not the only guy who calls people out on this show.
Jerry, what's your favorite pasta?
My favorite pasta.
What's your favorite pasta shape, Jerry?
Guys, I'm so mad about that.
You too. You're mad about it too.
Can we please respond to that? I want Jerry's response
about the pasta.
Anything. I mean, I'm more of a cavatappi or the ringy thingy that goes like this, like kind of pasta.
I can't answer this question because people
I'm a farfalle guy. I love it.
Hold on, Will knows.
I can't get enough of it.
Will knows that if I say something about pasta, I might offend people. So I don't know, man.
I'm more of a rigatoni or stuffed shells. Give me chicken parm stuffed shells. I like you forever. If that's the case.
I don't know.
Good, by the way.
Shape. What was it called? Circle pasta again?
Yeah.
Circle pasta.
Is it the riding wheels?
God forbid I can make a joke, guys? Like, God forbid, man. You got me on, Alex. You know how to egg me on. So
I had nothing to do with this. In fact, I tried to defend you because a very prominent commentator called you out, and I thought called you out unfairly because you were just making a joke. Like you weren't ripping apart their entire broadcast. You were having some fun because somebody tweeted out a video of the whole Pastagate situation, and Jerry just commented on it. I didn't think you did. Isn't that offensive, man? I tried to defend you.
It's not hate.
It's not hate, but here's the thing. What about why don't they go for the announcer that kind of said something about a real Italian?
Yeah, that's right. She's the one who threw him under the bus, not Jerry.
So.
Well, apparently I work for them. I guess I don't know. It sounded like they were coming after me, like I work for them. Like It's just what I mean.
It's because Jerry, you're rent free in their head.
Maybe.
In their head.
I don't know. It's just stupid. I have a blue check mark. So let's go after the guy with the blue check mark. That's what it is here.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
I fucking hate it. Actually, it makes me sick. I swear.
By the way, I would,
Hate it.
I know.
I want to get rid of it. What is that noise?
I know there's at least one person in the. I don't know. It's like a clicky noise. Hold on. I think it. It's on Will's end.
Goddamn, Will's typing on. He's probably on Spaces. This guy. Yeah, he's laughing because he's on Spaces. See? Where'd he go?
Now you bullied him off the video. I think he's going to reconnect probably.
Yeah.
But I want to make a comment for Scudetto. I did pick Juventus preseason. I am wavering on that now a little bit. I
think one of the comments was like calling you a clown for that.
Jerome, me? What, for changing my pick?
People who predict Juventus to not make the top 4 after predicting them to win the league are clowns. Reactive fan.
No, I'm taking top 4. No, I even said that I still think that they should take a top 4 spot because of their talent. So I think they're going to end up taking top 4. Jerry knows he and I are a little bit alike on this, that I try not to be too overtly bullish on the teams that I support because I'm very afraid of jinxes, but I can definitely say that I feel better about Inter right now than I did before the season started.
If that's the case,
so like
jinx it and say Napoli will win the Scudetto.
And honestly, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to pick Napoli, but I thought Will's points were spot on because Napoli we've seen in the past. So I guess you can debate whether this can be in the club's DNA or not because many of the players are different. I mean, Insigne and Koulibaly were both on that team that were so close in 2018 to winning a Scudetto, and they fell short at the finish line. So you do have a few.
Yeah, I was gonna say sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Alex.
No worries.
I was gonna say the key player is keep Victor Osimhen healthy all season.
Yeah,
he is phenomenal, phenomenal player, and has done very well for Napoli. If it's not Scudetto, I think Napoli has a really decent shot at the Europa League.
At the Europa League.
Well, they're in the Europa League, so they can't really.
Oh, to win my bad. To win the Europa League. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like to qualify, like to get Europa. No, you mean to. Yeah, you're right. You're right. To win Europa League. Yeah. No, and absolutely.
I think they can win it.
Yeah, and Victor Osimhen last year was snake bit. I mean, he was injured and he had COVID last year. It was not a fortunate season for him. Their attack is tremendous.
He had a great goals per minute ratio though last year. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
He put him in. He's super talented. He's my pick to be the leading goal scorer in Serie A. So that gives me some pause as a Juventus fan. I'm definitely concerned about them. But again, like I said earlier, when the pressure's on, it's going to be tough. It's tough being the team. I saw it being a Juventus fan. Like they won 9 Scudetti in a row. Every team came for them every single week, and to keep up that level of play, it's going to be an adjustment for them. I'm not saying that they're going to be impeded, but
no.
The culture needs to change, I think, on the team.
Yeah,
I was going to say they got the experienced players that have been through the mud before when it was that title challenge with Sarri way back when. Hopefully they can bring that experience of what they've learned from then to now, to the young players, to the new players that have come through,
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've been through the mud. Hopefully they can get through it, but they just have to have that mentality. It's always that issue, a mentality issue. If you don't have the mentality to win week in, week out, or play better, astonishingly, then what the hell's the point, So
yeah, I'm not sold yet on them, but as far as their roster goes, they're super talented. They have the advantage of not having a lot of turnover, which I think is really a key nowadays. If you can keep the same roster and have that stasis, and it can very well turn out to be a positive thing.
Now, while we're on the subject of Napoli, Insigne, will he extend or do you think he'll go away? And not go away, but
That's a great
leave.
question.
He's gone, man. He's gone. It's so
I
sad.
have a hard time believing he's gone because like he's
He's
got
worth 5.5. But if someone comes across, sorry, I didn't interrupt, but if someone comes across with $5.5 million for him, you don't think he's gonna take it? He's in the prime of his career. He's 31 years old. He's gonna take his last payday.
I don't know. The thing is, like,
he's gonna feed Poopy and
Where would he
Papi.
go?
but it's like, but
Where did he go?
I can't see him doing well abroad. Maybe in Spain, but certainly, like, I
He can
think
try
he's
France.
no.
Maybe Lotito
Okay.
breaks the bank and finally pays up, man. Maybe he
Good
comes
luck
and
with
plays.
that.
Maybe he plays with Cheeto Immobile.
Wouldn't hold my
Cheeto
breath on
Immobile
that one.
discount.
The thing is, I think, like, to me, like he's too much of a Napolitano to
I don't
go
know.
to like another big Italian club. I just don't like. I think that he's obviously he's trying to squeeze every possible penny out of ADL. But I think ADL would probably call him on his bluff. Like, and listen, I'm an Interista, and I would actually be really intrigued to see Insigne at Inter. I just don't think in a million years it would really happen. I just do not think, like, I cannot
And
see
those
him
Napoli fans
going
would-
to
would
Inter. Like, he's
hate him.
and I think Insigne probably would understand. I don't think he would do very well abroad. Like, I think he really needs Serie A, and just like I mean, maybe Lazio, but again, that would require Lotito actually opening and on a big contract, which I find hard to believe. Like, I can't see him going to an Inter or a Milan or a Juve. So I don't see him leaving Napoli for like a rival, like not like Roma. So I have a
I
hard
can
time.
see Inter.
Is he,
I can see
correct me if I'm
Inter.
wrong, is he a winger or is he more of a striker? Correct me if I'm wrong.
He's a
could
winger.
become striker
Yeah,
as
more of a
he-
winger, can play
Well-
false nine as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
As
PSG.
he ages, he's going to move more central, just like Messi has. Messi has.
I
gone
feel
more
like
more
PSG could be it. PSG.
No, I don't think he wants
No,
to
I
go
don't-
there
I don't think
personally.
so.
I don't think so, man. He wants to be a starter. He doesn't want to play on the bench half the time, man.
Mbappe
Like-
will be gone by then.
It's possible, yeah. But I see Inter as a possibility because it's a free transfer. This is where Napoli is going to shoot themselves in the foot because they could have sold this guy for 20 million at least. We'll just we'll just say estimate 20 million. 20 million down the drain. They don't sign him. That's another scenario why I think Napoli will sign him is that you don't want to let this guy leave for free, but it's stupid because I'm pretty sure ADL is offering less than what he's actually making as well.
Yeah, he's offering less than what he's. You're right about that.
Like, are you stupid? If that's the
That
case,
makes no
okay.
sense.
If that's the case, wouldn't you? If you're Lazio, why don't you just come in and try to offer the same and say, hey, you get to play with your best friend, Cheeto Immobile. Hey, you get to come back with Maurizio Sarri as well. Look what you got at Lazio. Like, if that's the case, that kind of
And
that
Roma's not
works.
too far away from Naples, so
I know I'm being like a little outfield unrealistic right now, but when it's going to that direction, Lotito can possibly walk in and say, "Hey, again, I think he goes to Inter if he doesn't stay with Napoli because they can offer the wages. That's why." But again, Inter's
doesn't
losing a lot of.
Napoli hate Inter. So
Inter
wouldn't
lose-
their fans like destroy him?
He doesn't give a shit. Fucking these players play Hamstick left, Cavani.
Yeah, but
left,
maybe he left for
all these guys
China
left.
though. That's
Yeah,
different.
it's a little
That's
bit
different
Yeah,
than going
but
to
this is
another
Cavani
Italian
left for
team.
He's
PSG.
Neapolitan. Like, that's the factor that probably is gonna
Maybe keep him there.
stop it from happening. I think ADL is a very stubborn person, but I think in the end,
I don't know. I never know what
public
to think.
opinion will go against him if he fucks with that.
Yeah,
too much.
it's
Yeah.
true though. But
And by the way, just to real quick to read Gerald's scenario here, Alex, what do you think of my idea? Sell or let go of Vidal, Vecino, and Sensi. Replace them with Kessie, Nandez, and Pessina. Gerald, if Marotta can do that business that you laid out there, I'm building the fucking statue. Like I'm already considering building a Beppe Marotta statue outside the Meazza, but I will pay for the statue myself if he can make these moves, bro.
I want to.
I want to interject something quickly, and it's to go into a little bit, but I don't know how close you guys are following the debt issue in China right now with Evergrande, and
I know it's bad.
yeah,
Very bad.
and I would not be surprised
Suning owns some of those bonds. So it could complicate things a little bit going forward for Inter financially, that they're going to have to go to sell potentially. Suning will have
Right.
to sell
And like, because we've heard some rumors, Will, over the last few days about Suning wanting to sell about half of their stake in Inter. They own 70%, so selling at least 35%. And listen, I can only speculate on who that might be. There have been Saudi Arabian money rumored, which I would love, because that fuck you oil money would be fantastic. But like,
Yeah.
but if they're like, if their debt, if Suning's debt is even worse than we realize, would that complicate a sale, or like a Saudi buyer would just be so rich they're like, whatever, we'll take on some of that debt?
I think
feel like
when
Saudi
you're dealing
Arabia.
with,
Oh,
I
sorry,
think when you're
continue.
dealing with sorry. I think when you're dealing with countries in the Middle East, like, I don't think they would be scared off by the debt. Now,
Nope.
if you're dealing with another like Elliott, for example, with AC Milan, I can't remember who's provided the loan or the collateral for Inter. The private equity group escapes
It's
you right now.
Oak Tree. Oak Tree is
Tree.
the name. Yeah.
Now you might get a little bit more unfavorable terms next time around if you have to go back to them for money, because if their debt issue is that acute, and Suning, they fucking sell washing machines. They're basically like a big Best Buy in China.
Yeah. Right.
And the industry has changed like it has everywhere else. COVID has kind of exacerbated things, and Alibaba of the world, and there's another one that starts with a Y. The name escapes me, but they've taken over the industry there, just like Amazon has here. So the fact that they have that headwind going against them, along with the fact that they might own some of this debt, because that's who's been buying the debt. It's majority Chinese companies. I mean, you're not having your fucking ExxonMobil buying up Evergrande bonds, that's for sure. So it's a domestic issue, and Suning is a pretty large player domestically as far as the economy goes. So
I can
you
see
could have a real
Saudi
problem soon.
Arabia taking part, because Saudi Arabia tried to go for Newcastle, didn't work.
Right.
Saudi Arabia tried to go for Marseille, PSG blocked it because those two don't get along.
That's bullshit, man. Blocked it. That's so bullshit, man.
You want to know why? Because
Fucking bullshit.
Saudi Arabia,
That's
I think,
bull.
I don't know if I can't think of the wording right now.
They have a pirated BN, basically.
Thank you. And took all the BN Sports stuff with their commentary.
That's right.
Into Saudi Arabia. That's why
weren't they calling it Be Out?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
brilliant.
something like that.
How brilliant is that? We're gonna pirate Be In and call it Be Out.
So, so if anything, I can see them going to Italy because it's cheaper. Let's face it, a little bit cheaper. I'm assuming. Keep in mind, I'm an outsider here.
No,
and they can probably
not for the Milanese clubs. No, that's big money. I mean,
yeah.
No. I mean, like, if
Inter
Saudi Arabia can buy Inter, they can easily find a way to dominate for years on end. Just pointing that out there. And
financially, sure, yeah.
It's the same reason the Qataris bought PSG. It's a soft power exercise. It burnishes their brand.
It's a sports washing exercise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see it to happen, because Juventus has a lot of money too. Exor is worth billions of dollars. They'll be able to go up against that Saudi money, and it'll bring more money into the league. And right now, the league needs benefactors, and to go up against.
You guys are lucky.
Pardon?
France, you guys are lucky. I'm like, in France, they have to renegotiate after 1 year into their new TV deal, right? Media Pro. Mm-hmm. That got swamped. Basically, all French clubs suffered. Then they renegotiated, and now Amazon Prime gets more games for equal amount of money than what the original package was. So, for example, beIN Sports and Canal Plus are the domestic TV rights, usually in France. They pay for 3 matches, I think 300 million euros. Amazon Prime in France pays 8 matches for the same amount. So basically, instead of paying $1 billion, what it would have been, now we're only paying 600 million per year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about Serie A too, because the DAZN numbers for the Juventus AC Milan match, they were horrific.
In the US?
only 1 million people watched them.
That was in Italy, right?
And that was
Yeah.
in Italy. And
Wow.
it's Serie A is just so fucking stupid. You have a country that has horrible infrastructure when it comes to broadband, and you decide to put it on a streaming platform. How idiotic can you be?
I'll admit those in France are very, very, very happy with Amazon Prime. And to credit to them, Thierry Henry has done a fantastic job being a very neutral commentator, commentating the games, and being an analyst. Amazing coverage for what they've done.
Yeah, but France can actually like dig underground, where in Italy they can't. They'll fucking go in antiquity every like 2 miles, basically.
Is that why when I use my VPN and I watch some DAZN coverage in Italy, I shouldn't be saying this.
Well, you just
honestly, I think
Yeah.
it's one of those gray areas, but because like and maybe Canada's different than the US, but like VPN services like in the US, like you can advertise them and legally sell them. I think like maybe the using of them is kind of a gray area, and maybe Canada's different because you fucking communists up there, Jerry. Like you guys don't even have the free speech that I, as an American, enjoy.
I don't even know why
maybe it's different up there.
I don't even know why I bought it. I hardly use it, to be honest. I bought it because
I ask actually Alex what his thoughts were with Paramount, because I feel like they dumbed down the coverage of Serie A.
The coverage is not very good. They treat us like children. Like they have like. On the front of like their poster, even they have Weston McKennie, like he's the face of Serie A. It's like they think, Americans will not watch unless they know there's at least one American player in this league. But listen, as far as like access to the games, it's fine. Like I can get all the games. That's my most important concern as a Serie A fan, because back in like the beIN Sports days, that was a little bit iffy sometimes. So having access to all the games, that's the most important thing. But I'll tell you what I do not like, and maybe I'm just using the app wrong. So maybe like William knows something that I don't.
It's horrible. It's a horrible user interface. You can't do multicast anymore.
Yes, thank you. I thought I was just stupid, and you can't like rewind in game, right?
Yep, that's correct.
That's terrible. Yeah, because at least when they were on the ESPN Plus app and the ESPN app, you could use the app like a DVR. Like if I'm distracted because I'm like checking my Twitter timeline and doing all this stuff, and I miss a goal in live time, maybe I don't just want to watch the replay. I want to rewind, 30 seconds. I can do that on ESPN. I can't do that on Paramount. So that's my big issue.
And I mean, look at like the ESPN like post game coverage I realize it didn't happen every single week, but I think normally for the Sunday 2:45 game they had like a good crew on. You had Gab Marcotti. You had Jurgen Klinsmann, you had Del Piero, you had what's his name, Stuart Robson. I mean, you had a pretty good crew for US TV,
and very knowledgeable of the league and all this stuff.
And you had Matteo Benetti as well. Matteo knows his shit, even though last night he was a little bit out of order. But
he knows his pasta too.
He does know.
And now you compare that roster to the roster of Paramount, which is Rossi, Marco from IFTV, some other guy they don't even know. He's from the New York Red Bulls, and Matteo Benetti. What a drop off! No offense.
Yeah, I mean it's legitimate. It's a legitimate critique.
Nailed it.
I don't want it because I would never. That's why like people laugh and say, "Oh, if you were live on TV," I actually was live on TV. Thank you very much.
TLN, right?
TLN. I was live on TV, so I know what it's like to be on. Yes, I was.
It's a Canadian thing.
It's a Canadian thing. I was live on TV, and it's challenging. But before I go on, I kind of think about I'm in the public. Yeah, like exactly. Like how I am on the pod is one thing. When I go on other people's podcasts, I do not act like this. I go and I don't swear. I'm very courteous and I'm respectful. Why am I that person? Because it's not my house anymore. I'm going into your house.
Right.
I'm respecting your house. I'm respecting what your rules are. It's like me coming to your house and I'm taking my shoes off the minute I come in. I respect everything around that. I don't go with dirty feet. Like
we can all agree on one thing though. The beIN Sports coverage of Serie A was garbage. And their beIN Sports Connect was worse.
Yeah, that was bad. I couldn't. I could only. I couldn't get the app to work on any mobile device. So if I had my laptop on me, I could watch any of the games, but their iPhone and iPad app was not worth shit.
And you couldn't stream to the Apple TV. They were be like, this is not available.
That's right.
And then after a couple of years, no, only Cox Communication, no Verizon, none of the other cable channels had it. So you had to get it Fubo and all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I want to add something. It's not, and not like Will's here. I can say this. It's not about me. It's not about me hating someone because they talk about pasta on TV. You got to remember something, okay? You are in the public image of people. You make thousands of dollars to give content to people. They pay monthly fees to watch you. And then if someone's going to criticize you, they have the right. If they want to laugh about what you said, they have the right because they are paying your service. They are paying you to have a job. They are paying you to be able to survive right now. Okay, so when people start, they hate haters. They don't like you because of what you did and where you've achieved and what you've been able to do. No, it's nothing to do with that. You are in the public of 1 million people who are watching. What you say, what you do is very important. AKA, here's a prime example: Gary Neville. Neville.
What a chooch!
Oh my
Hold on,
God.
there you go. Hold on. Gary Neville. He said his comment about Italy and how they didn't have big players to do the game changers and win. But look, you got a guy who is so reputable, who played the game, and now he looks like a dummy. So
he has his head up.
But it's not people are hating him. It's not hating towards Gary Neville. It's just that you put yourself in that position. Just like myself, when I do tweets and I call out Hakan and I think he sucks, and it backfires on me. You put yourself in that situation. It's not people are hating on me because they don't like what I tweeted. They are disagreeing with what you said, and they're putting you in that position because you put yourself in that. Right. So for me,
and the most important thing, Jerry, is that tweet you wrote. You didn't make a personal attack.
No.
That was not a you were having fun at the ridiculous conversation that they were having. You weren't making a personal attack on anybody.
I didn't. I'm
gonna repeat again. Matteo told him, "I have no idea what the hell you're talking about." And then the lady was like, "Let's talk to a real Italian."
Yeah,
that's more insulting.
She's the one who bullied Marco, not Jerry.
And Matteo.
It's all Kate's fault.
Both of them did.
Yeah, it's Kate's fault.
I like how everybody attacked me, and the one guy who I commented never attacked me. Marco didn't say one thing to me. I had to.
Nor should he. Honestly, that was fine that he didn't. He shouldn't be dude. If somebody doesn't like something that I say on a stream or on the radio or in a tweet, and they make some ridiculous insult at me, I'm either gonna respond in a funny way, just whatever, because it's probably a 16-year-old living in their fucking basement, or I'm just gonna ignore it completely. I'm not gonna let it bother me.
No, it's dumb. Matteo directing direct shot on me, bro. I pay for your pod. I was a subscriber. Why would I want to be a subscriber anymore when you do shit like that? I pay for you to have your
patron, right?
I was a patron. After that, I unsubscribed after that.
Which, guess what? They were both working together when they're at beIN Sports, and they were working together at ESPN. So technically, it was a violation of Isn't there a violation with that? You can't.
I don't think there's a violation. I think you're reaching a little bit for that one.
You're thinking of nepotism, basically. But
yeah, right.
No,
but neither of them hired the other one.
Right. No, he's not wrong. So my previous job as a manager, if my wife worked in the same department as me, that's a conflict of interest. You can't. Mm-hmm. No,
I think broadcasting is different.
No.
I don't know about broadcasting. But,
yeah, I think broadcasting is different.
But I'm just saying, it's conflict. Like my father, where he works, you can't work with my mom. It has to be separate. Really? It has to be separate store. Yeah.
Wow.
Longo's, where I used to work at. If you I know a lot of the owners and managers don't work in the same. Are married. They work in two separate stores. It's conflict of interest. You can't have relationships in the same store. It can cause a lot of problems. I'm telling you, man. And I don't know how broadcasting is, but in grocery stores,
Well, yeah,
supermarkets,
but the thing
you
is, like,
can't.
it depends on
Even
like the
retail.
relationship. Like if somebody is like an executive and like they start a relationship with like an intern or something,
Yeah.
then yeah, that's probably
Well,
not
there's position
cool.
of power.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna leave it the way I just said it. Like I see here, it's just banter, Jerry. Hate is too much to use here on Gary Neville. Yeah, like I'm not hating on Gary Neville, but when you put yourself in that position, and I think he likes it. I think
Yeah,
Gary
he does.
Neville loves it because
Like,
it's
dude,
free
and I
publicity.
don't know the
gets
guy.
it.
But behind the scenes, he might be a perfectly nice individual, maybe great to have a beer with. But like, he plays a character on TV. Like, I know J Rod and Bill probably know when I say Skip Bayless. Like, dude, the guy's the troll of all trolls. I know people who know him, and they tell me
Stephen A. Smith.
he's a doll. Stephen A. Smith, the same thing. Like, these are really, really nice dudes behind the scenes, but they've got very loud, boisterous, strong, trolling, sports opinions that they make a lot of people pissed off, but they're not bad people.
Yeah, like someone like me, for example, I'm pretty level-headed. Like, I'm not selling. Like, I'm not getting viewers on fucking TV. I'm just not. I'm too chill. I'm gonna come out stuff like with a factual perspective. I'm not like waving my hands and shouting. Like, it's just not my persona. So yeah,
Right.
you're absolutely right. They're selling a product, be it they're selling themselves, or the network wants them to act a certain way and act like a clown because it's going to get people to comment on their phone or to tune in on TV.
And it works.
Yeah,
It works.
I hate how people misinterpret things. That's all, man. And that's why I hate
That's
about
how it
Twitter.
always is on Twitter. Everyone always
So
does
stupid, man.
I think if people are going to take anything away from this episode, it is that Jerry is a really nice dude.
Yeah,
and I'm being serious here. Like, I think people, sometimes Jerry likes to banter on Twitter. And for those of us who know him, and I think for everyone who watches this, like, because you understand Jerry's personality, this dude likes to fuck around, right? He's a Lazio fan. He's gonna banter Roma. He enjoys it, and I'm glad that I've been able to convert him to kind of an undercover Inter fan. Me and his father, who's an Inter fan. So he's usually not that mean about Inter, but he's gonna banter.
I like the fact that he shits on PSG all the time. I just love that.
That's another one.
I love it.
I hate them now. I used to like them. I have all their freaking apparel. I need to sell it.
Yeah.
Or just burn it. Put it on video.
Do you want me to get divorced? That's a lot of money, man. I don't burn jerseys, man. I'm telling you right now, if I had it on
eBay,
I don't burn jerseys. I don't care what player it is who left.
eBay.
You don't burn. That's $200 you're burning. Think about burning $200.
Fair.
Stupid, man.
Don't let the bastards drag you down.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Don't let the bastards drag you down.
He's right.
It's true.
Listen, I got to close out the episode on that note. Before we do, I want to let everybody on here. I want everyone to let the people know where they can find them. We'll start with Will, who is very humble because when you came on, you talked about not having much of a social media presence. I beg to differ. I think you're a very good Twitter follow, and you've become a big player on a lot of Italian soccer spaces. You're very active on there. So, dude, let the people know where they can find you. Are you doing any spaces anytime soon? Where can they follow you?
I'll jump on a space if someone's having one and start off some nonsense every now and again. But yeah, Twitter, WG Duquila. That is DAQUILA. That is my Twitter handle. Post about Juventus, foreign affairs, Calcio, oil. That's basically about it.
He's a very good follow. What about you? George? Where can people follow you?
Speaking of spaces,
how do you properly pronounce your name? Is it Jorge, or I know it's not properly pronounced George, but what do you go by? What do your friends call you?
George.
Thank you, Jerry. Okay. Jerry's correcting me. I call the man George. For his friends, call him George. I call him George.
All right, but I will admit I do spaces on my official. Well, there we go. The official Lyon supporters group of North America. I do that every post game, every time. I try to do it as many times, European or not. So I do spaces on that will North America, and my personal one is JRod2589. Yeah, I usually post a lot of Lyon and Burnley stuff, some Vegas nights thing, but that's coming up pretty soon with the preseason coming on. But mainly Lyon stuff. But I do a lot of spaces on the other one. I try to get more people to come support. There's other people out there that support Lyon. We just got to find it. It's not easy to find, but it's slowly but surely.
I love it. And Jerry, you're always active, my friend, whether it be on social media, pissing people off, on this show, doing your thing, and writing Laziale, Serpents of Madonnina. Where can people find you? Do you have any stories dropping soon?
I'm not writing about any game this week.
Really?
I'm actually taking a break the next couple of days.
You say that today, and then tomorrow I'm going to see you writing post-game pieces for every game in Serie A.
I've written like 20 pieces. I have pieces from last year that I've written that I still haven't edited and haven't got out yet. Like I always drift off.
Are they outdated though?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you writing about?
I fix it. I have one about. I have one about John Daniel.
He has one about how Conte's going to win a second consecutive Scudetto at Inter that he's got to edit that one a little bit.
I wrote a piece about Inzaghi, man, back in the summer. I still haven't posted that. I got one on Correa, just waiting, already done. I'm not writing about the games. I already told Laziale. I told Serpents of Madonnina, like match previews, reports. I have to take a step back.
Are you going to do anything on the French league soon?
If there's something that I did an interview on Toma Basic with Lazio, who came from Bordeaux, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how he does. Seems like a good player, but yeah, you know what? I just been overwhelmed lately, and it's time I kind of take a break and 5 pieces tomorrow.
So right, and also like, dude, a couple days ago, Jerry told me he wanted to take the week off from potting. But now he's got us scheduled for like a show every day this week now.
I want to come back on when I have like a little bit more time on my hands.
100%, man. We will have you back on.
And
you as well.
I would love to talk a little bit more French football too,
down, man. And Ciro Immobile, his stock has fallen so much that he's like now a buy. He's become underrated because he's gotten so much shit like the past like couple months.
I'm curious to see who starts during the international break. The international break is going to be very fast upon us, and I think he starts again against Spain. I would start Raspadori. I want to see somebody else start, just so they and if they do bad, do people shit on them like they shit on Immobile? I mean, I like to see that, man, because I think Moise Kean cannot play number 9. He is not a number 9.
I agree with you.
These guys are fucking cracked out, man. Like, the guy's a winger.
Raspadori is the guy you start if you start anyone other than Immobile.
I think he's the next number 9.
I'm a Sassuolo sexual. They're my hipster team.
Okay.
I'm fond of them. So I've watched him quite a bit this year. He had a really good start to the season. The past couple of games, he's been lacking. I haven't seen anything too much to be like, oh, he's going to be the number 9 on Italy. But I mean, he does have the characteristics. He's got that comparison to Aguero, which I don't think is too far off. Let's see what the kid can do. He's 21 years old.
See what I mean? Like, and I think Mancini's playing you right. You don't put the guy into a fire, man. Like, let's start Raspadori, 21 years old. Just throw him in. Let's fucking play him against gold and freaking platinum. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you don't just throw him in the dirt, man. Like, he would have got shredded. As bad as Immobile was on not scoring, people don't look at the whole picture. I think that a lot of people look at stats. No, not just with Immobile. It's a lot of players.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Very good work rate.
Although when you're a striker, I do think that stats can be pretty important. You just gotta throw that out there. You gotta score.
It's like Chelsea. Everybody shits on Mason Mount, but no one looks at what he does off the ball, how hard he works, how he retrieves balls, recovery. Like, those are things. Everybody looks at goals, assists. Like, he doesn't have any goals in 5 games, but how has he been playing, though? Like, those are things that people don't look at. It's like Jorginho. Jorginho. But
I don't think you can compare Jorginho to a guy who's playing a starting striker spot, though. Like, you've got to score. So you cannot go 5 games without scoring when you're the starting striker.
Sure you can. If no one can pass you the ball, yeah. Like, come on, man.
Immobile's issue is that he doesn't really fit the system that Italy plays. He needs to have a striker next to him. If he had that situation that he had at Lazio prior to the season, I think we'd be putting up different numbers and he'd be quite prolific. But unfortunately, even though I'm very fond of the 3-5-2, the two striker formation has really fallen out of vogue.
Yeah, it has, and I like it as well. I'm a fan of it. Well, listen, I got to wrap it up on that note because after 10 o'clock, I turn into a pumpkin. I get very tired. So I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And you guys, of course, you can see well, if it was up to Jerry, we'd be on till 1 a.m. every time. And then Jerry wakes up at like 4. Oh, dude, it's our pleasure. We love having you.
I'm going to probably change my thing next time and say Rodrigo the Paul lookalike.
You are. I'm telling you, it's the hairline. Dead ringer.
Yeah,
that's been the theme today.
That has been the theme. You guys can follow me. You see the Twitter handle, and obviously, please check out this show, Calcio Connection. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our audio podcast as well. I know that's the way the majority of the people consume this show. So the audio podcast is big. Every platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Amazon, all that good stuff. And check out the stuff I do as well. I know some of you are watching this on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. If you're not watching us on the Calcio Connection YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to that. And I do a daily stream, mostly talking South Florida sports, American football, and the NBA primarily on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube page. I do that every single day at noon. So for Will, for George, and for Jerry. And Jerry's a nice guy, I'm telling you. So everyone keep that in mind. I'm Donno. We'll talk to you guys again next time. I think we're going to be back on tomorrow night, by the way, on another episode of the Calcio Connection podcast. Ciao.
Bye-bye.